ClassicChristian247.com. It's Mike at the mic. And I told you she was going to be on the radio with us. And we've been talking about the show. Rob Pugh with Classic Christian Rock Preservation Society is putting on an evening with Cheri Keaggy in Mooresville, Indiana. And Cheri is on the phone now. Cheri, good morning.
Good morning.
It is morning for sure. Well, first of all, you're in the Nashville area, and I hear that the temperatures there are beginning to cool down, so you're getting a taste of fall.
Yes, just a little bit. Oh, we have had some amazing days last few days. Sunny, but just a little bit of that crispness, we're in that transition. I was saying to a friend, from flip-flops to when you might want to put your socks on,
Yeah, that's funny if that's how your seasons are determined. A lot of times it's, do I wear white after Labor Day, but maybe it's socks or flip-flops.
Yeah, there you go. Nonetheless, I have my fall wreath already on my front door. So.
Oh, yes. Yes, you've got all the gold and the browns and the oranges and all that stuff adorning the Keaggy house?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have a yard you've got to rake, or is it a pretty low-maintenance place?
Oh, yeah, there are leaves that are a-fallen, I'll just say. And so... yeah, I have a leaf blower, but last time I tried plugging it in, it didn't work. And so, yeah, a rake will do the trick. It's a small yard.
And do the neighbors mind when you blow them into their yard? That's the easiest way. That's low maintenance.
It's been really sweet. My neighbor across the street, her teenage son has been mowing my lawn, just front and back. It's really quick. Well, now he's gone off to college, but now my neighbor herself, is coming over and doing my lawn just because she loves to do it. So I call her the yard angel.
Hey, if God gifted you with a passion to do yards, you're welcome in mine anytime. Yeah, I'd say the same thing to that woman. Yeah.
Yeah, who am I to steal her joy, right?
That's right. That's right. I don't want to rob that from her. Speaking of people in college, did I read that your son Cameron is married now?
He is. How did that happen, right? Yeah, he's actually been married a couple of years now.
Now, this is the Cameron from the Cameron song, The Little Boy on His Knees from the Child of the Father album.
That's right.
Wow.
Those little boys grow up.
Wow. Cheri, I don't get it. My wife Karen and I, we have 5 children. Our oldest is 19, and I know she's going to be, at that stage pretty soon for marriage, and our youngest is 3, so we're just keeping the house full all the time.
You've got them in every stage, I bet.
Oh, we do. Yeah. There's something sad yet special about the letting go into that next stage of life, isn't there?
Yes, sad and special. That's very well said, exactly. Yes, it's as it should be. We're not raising children, we're raising adults. And so, yes, when they go off into these different phases, there is another layer of letting go as parents that is required of us. But you entrust them to the Lord. They came from Him in the first place, and God helps you in each stage to let go. I am grateful in this season, though, that I've still got my daughter at home.
Yeah.
She's in college and junior in college, and so we're roommates.
And she is the subject of the Beautiful Little Girl song that came out, I don't even know how many years ago now. I thought about this before, too. I should probably apologize to you at some level here, because when you're doing an interview for a station that calls itself Classic in any way, does that make you feel old?
No, it's totally okay. It's funny. I find myself saying the phrase "back in the day" a lot.
Yeah,
back in the day. Back in the day. Anyway, so I know I remember like it was yesterday that I was the new kid on the block, and now I'm a veteran.
I know.
I'm in the Classic Christian Rock Preservation Society category or whatever it is.
Yeah, and we are so glad to play your music on ClassicChristian247.com. More with Cheri Keaggy in a little bit on Mike at the Mic on ClassicChristian247.com. Mike at the Mic on ClassicChristian247.com as we continue with the lovely and talented Cheri Keaggy. She has a brand new album. It's out at CheriKeaggy.com. You can get all the information you need. And Cheri, let me put it to you this way. I feel in some way when I listen to even the samples, like I've been invited to eavesdrop on your personal relationship with Jesus. And I love that, but it's very vulnerable, this CD, it seems to me.
Yeah, it is. And this CD has been part of God healing me after a real difficult season in life. I don't know if your listeners have known yet, but in 2010, sadly, I went through a divorce. And I had been married to my high school sweetheart for 22 years, and so this is not how you hope your story goes, the turn that it takes. And yet God was so present in the midst of all of that pain. And these are the songs that are, it's been some time since my last release. It was 2007 that we did Because He First Loved Us. And, in all of that, I was living a lot of life. And so this is born out of that suffering, And so God is one who brings beauty from ashes. And, yeah, I go to some pretty vulnerable, the lyrics are just honest. It's in those raw places, but God is using it. So,
well, do you find yourself when you're writing the songs, after you write them and you lay the lyrics out on paper and you're thinking, okay, this, Lord, could go public. So if this lyric makes it out on the internet or makes it into one of the projects, do you ever have to scale it back because you thought it was between you and the Lord? Or does God actually say, Cheri, no, give more. Let people know even more what I've done in your life because this is special. People need to hear this. What happens?
I felt really directed by God with this batch of songs because I had gone through a long season not writing at all. I was still going out singing, ministering, but I wasn't in that free space. I was, surviving a lot of life, and I wasn't writing new material. But I went to a conference where God really spoke to me and directed me to, when I got home from that conference, I was to sit my bottom down on that piano bench once again, and then the songs began to pour out. And I really felt a directive from the Lord, like, in other words, like I would be in disobedience if I didn't sit at the piano. And so I went in that confidence. And as the songs poured out, one after another, there were times where I was crying at the piano, that emotion where, I don't know if you've ever experienced where you're sort of laughing and crying at the same time.
Yeah.
and there were moments like that because I felt, I felt His power, and I felt His presence, and I knew that He was healing me. We all have different things we do for self-care, to care for ourselves. Maybe it's, it's reading the Word. It's sitting under a shady tree. It's listening to our favorite music. It's, whatever it is. And for me, so many, looking back over the years, sitting at the piano and pouring out these songs is part of my self-care and part of how God loves on me and, anchors me. So it's very, very personal, but yes, now very, very public. So I'm honored to share.
We're just so blessed, really, to be able to hear part of that because everybody's spiritual journey is different, yet there are common elements that we can relate to because it's the same Spirit, and the Spirit of God heals in a way that is recognizable to other children of God or children of the Father. And I love the vulnerability, and I think it's very special. Not everybody can reveal a personal level and let people in on it because, there is hurt. There is, like you're saying in the song, So I Can Tell. It's you've experienced mercy, so now you can talk about mercy. You've experienced grace, you can talk about grace. But there's other songs even on the CD. It's like you were abandoned, but Jesus was still there. It's very real Christian emotion that we as kids of our Creator go through.
Yes, He is one. There are people in this world who will disappoint us, who will forsake us, who will betray us, who will, and yet Jesus is one. And looking back through my journals, I'm a lifetime journaler. Looking back, I see His hand, His faithful, constant presence with me. He is one who will never leave or forsake.
Yeah.
And I touch on that in a song that I wrote on the 1-year anniversary of our divorce. And that's a song called Starting a New Year Today. And that where I specifically highlight, I'm going through my journals and I'm seeing, this page here where it's scribbling, because I was angry or frustrated, and this page here where I'm crying out to God, and yet, just seeing that he is above all of that, and there's nothing that comes to me that hasn't first passed through him or that he's not aware of or privy to, And anyway, it's a real healing record. And as I hear stories of how it's impacting others, I just am so grateful that God is able to take our stuff that isn't good and use it for good, and that's what he's doing.
It blows my mind. It really does. I mean, I look at my life as just a pile of sinful flesh just blobbed out before the foot of the cross, and I'm thinking, Lord, how in the world is there anything in that little blob mess that lays there that you can find, first of all, redeemable, and secondly, usable later to reach other people with your message of healing and hope and eternal life?
Mm-hmm. So, yes, and there's a lovely verse I love in 1 Peter that talks about our trials and sufferings. It says, "These have come so that your faith, of greater worth than gold, even though refined by fire, may be proved genuine, and that praise and glory and honor will go to the Father," or something like that. And meaning there is purpose. God is giving purpose to the hard things that we go through. That it's bringing us to a place of genuine faith, where it's undeniable. That man, that person has God in their lives, because look at how she has thrived and not just survived, but thrived and come forth through that. I mean, that has to be an otherworldly,
wow,
explanation to it. It's not we as humans, as feeble humans. It's the power of God working in and through us.
Man, you've got that right. We have more with Cheri Keaggy. One more break. She's going to hang out with us. We'll talk about the concert coming up October 6th in Mooresville as well. It's Mike at the Mic with Cheri Keaggy on ClassicChristian247.com. And kind enough to hang out for one more break on Mike at the Mic, it is Cheri Keaggy. And Cheri, you are going to be in the Indianapolis area pretty soon in a town called Mooresville, Indiana. It'll be October 6th, 7 p.m. It's a Saturday night, not this Saturday, but next. It's only $5 in advance, $10 at the door. iTickets.com has the tickets, and Rob Pugh over at the Classic Christian Rock Preservation Society, he's got more information too. I'll pass that number on in a bit. But what are we in for? What can we expect?
Well, it's funny. I commented on Facebook, I think, to him that, I don't know how much rock I'm going to bring,
Yeah.
But I'll bring. Anyway, I'm standing on the firm foundation of the rock of Jesus Christ, yes. But you know me, I'm sort of the ballad queen. And so much of the evening I'll be just sitting at the piano, and it'll be like Cheri Keaggy Unplugged. I'm just going to be singing these songs and telling how God has met me. I do a lot, as much talking in between the songs as the songs themselves, it would seem. But anyway, I'll certainly hint at some of those older songs, certain songs that I just have to do whenever I go out. But
sure.
It is a new day, and God is doing a new thing, and so I'm excited about sharing the new material as well.
So you'll be in the Indy area on the 6th, and what are some of the events you have coming up after that?
Yeah, the Mooresville Church of God on the 6th. I'm actually doing that evening concert, and then again that Sunday morning. So if you, for whatever reason, can't make it Saturday night, I'll be there Sunday morning in their 10:30 service, and then I'll be heading on to Powell, Ohio, for that Sunday night, October 7th. I'll be at Beautiful Savior Lutheran Church in Powell, Ohio. So doing the circuit, out on the road.
Cheri, if there's anything that we can do for you at ClassicChristian247.com, please let us know if we can ever help you, okay?
Yes, well, one thing is to let your listeners know that if you want to know how to get this new record, you can go to my website, CheriKeaggy.com. You can hear those audio samples. Like Mike mentioned, you can purchase the album through there. You can also, download it, iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, all that sort of thing. Anyway, that's one way. And also, I love to write, so I invite your listeners to cue into my weekly blogs at the website as well.
There you go, folks. It is Saturday. It'll be October 6th, 7 p.m., Mooresville Church of God, and it's an evening with Cheri Keaggy. Again, cheap tickets, $5 in advance, $10 at the door, and iTickets.com is carrying them, and Rob Pugh as well. And a free will offering, too, at the event, just to help offset any extra expense, too. So, Cheri Keaggy, thank you so very much for hanging out on the morning show here, and we love you, and we're here anytime you need. We'll do what we can, okay?
Appreciate it so much. Thank you for having me.
It's ClassicChristian247.com.